just had a problem. My computer shut down. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
It was just too much power for that, but we're live, everybody.
Everybody.
The camera working. I'm so sorry about that. But here we are with Mainstream Fishing, Jermaine, and we have Dizzle as our guest.
Yes, sir. We got Dizzle in the house.
To turn on. I don't know what was going on with my Wi-Fi. That's really weird. So
got some people in here already.
All right. What is going on, everybody?
Yeah. Hey, Tommy.
Sorry. I don't know why this happens right here.
Well, bad luck. It's all right. Dizzle, you good over there?
Uh-oh. Technical
difficulties. You hear us?
Uh-oh.
Looks like everyone's having technical difficulties.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, you're good. I hear you now.
Let's see.
Can you hear us?
1 second.
No?
This is right. Can you hear me?
Right, he said you're a camera.
Can you guys?
You're coming. It says your EOS web gets coming.
Okay.
I think Dizzle's having. Can you hear us, Dizzle? No, he's messing with his AirPods. Yo. Sorry, y'all, for the technical difficulties. We'll get through this together. Now I'm the Lone Ranger.
There we go. All right.
I can hear you
still. Perfect.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. I don't know what happened there. I lost my.
Okay, you're really small, but you're back.
I don't know why this is doing this. This is real weird.
Well, Rich, good to see you here, brother.
I'm trying to get the chat pulled up here too, so I can.
Frank saying, "What's up, Randy?"
What's up, guys? Sorry about. I was telling these guys earlier before we just started. I'm like, I am not the technical type of guy whatsoever. I'm just like, okay. I just found actually a PlayStation 5 the other day, and I'm trying to get it hooked up and everything like that. And I had my PlayStation 4, and I got Call of Duty, but it had the cross-gen version of it. So if I got a PlayStation 4, I could just do something and get it on the 5. I can't figure it out for the life of me, and I've been wanting to play that game, but I've been working on it for like 3 days, and it just isn't working how it should. So I'm
you might actually have to buy the next-gen version of the game. There's 2 different versions.
This one was the next-gen bundle something or other. I thought I got the right one. I hope
you just got so you might have to download the next-gen version. If you have it, you have to download that.
Gotcha.
2 separate games. Yeah. I am a little bit of a gamer, so.
Yeah. I know. Are you a PlayStation guy, computer guy?
I got it all. Other than PC, yeah, I got an Xbox, PlayStation, and a Switch.
I was beyond blown away.
I'm just gonna interrupt the stream real quick. I'm sorry. I'm gonna exit real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Do your thing.
Sorry, we'll get to fishing here in a second, but yeah. I know that game that comes with the PlayStation, whatever that little like demo kind of game is. I got sucked into that thing, and it was like I ended up
Minecraft.
No, you're the little whitey blob type of guy where you go through all of the different things the controller can do and stuff like that. It's basically a tutorial on how the new controller works. I played this game for, I don't know, like 2 hours one night. I'm just like, I can't stop playing. Meanwhile, everything's trying to like download and nothing's working. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, all right, everybody. I guess we'll get back to some fishing. Dizzle here to talk jigs, not video games, right?
Right.
Brandon's getting himself together.
So I mean, as far as we touched on a few things before we started here. You said the jig has not been the go-to so far.
Yeah,
this fall, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been producing. No, I mean,
Man.
usually it always does. It sucks.
Yeah.
Haven't had that nice jig thump here
Oh,
in probably like a month now.
man. That is terrible. What's the temp? What are you looking at for air temp, not water
Air
temp?
temp right
Yeah.
now. Oh man, it's getting cold, buddy. It's New York and New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
We had a freeze warning last night. It's gonna get down. Yeah, it's gonna get down to
uh,
37. 37 tonight. Because
so I'm
33.
uh I'm splitting time right now kind of between Nebraska and Iowa. I know Iowa's a little bit colder than what Nebraska is, and I know that God, what was it? Tomorrow, I guess rain's supposed to come through either tonight or tomorrow night. Rain's supposed to come through, and today we were at I think almost 80,
Mhm.
and like the when the cold snap happens, we're going to be in the 30s.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this is extreme.
it's
But
up and
yeah,
down. It's up
right.
and down. It's crazy.
I was trying to take advantage of every nice day, and the big thing for me is these last few times I've been out, the wind has been horrific. I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's another
constant,
killer.
constant at 20 miles an hour, and then gusts of higher. But
It's not fun.
right, so a couple of times I've been out, and I'm just like, I don't want to go stand in the wind and get just beat up myself.
Yeah, it's
And
rough.
but you gotta find those windblown shores, and they are truly hitting them on the jigs on those like windblown shores. I
That's
think
something
like
we're gonna look
two.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I found this little. So the shoreline has this little cut in. What's that?
Mhm.
Are we
There he
good to
is.
go now?
He's
I got
good.
it. I got
We
it.
got
I don't
Okay.
know what was going on. The battery got
All right.
unplugged during the stream, so I'm
We
back.
got him.
So yeah, should we officially start then, or do we want to?
Yes, we're live now.
Okay,
We're
perfect.
live.
We're good. Ready to talk jigs and mend it and utility kilts.
Oh, geez, I need to get that utility kilt still.
Right? But continue
Yes.
about that windblown bank.
Yeah, so essentially what I was doing is I was trying to fish, the points
Mm-hmm.
that have like like jetties and things like that, looking for those jetties that come out and trying to fish that little cut where, I could swim something past the point and have something come up and hopefully hit it. Wasn't happening, wasn't happening. I was throwing the kitchen sink at them. So finally, around this other side of the lake, there's like a little, just curves in the curve of the lake, just like normal. And then it cuts back out on the other side. But anyway, I was like, I'm going over there. I'm gonna fish it, and I'm just gonna stand here in the wind. And honestly, if I don't catch anything within the first 2-3 minutes, I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up. I'm gonna leave for the day. Just because it wasn't terribly cold, but the wind was brutal. And so I'm fishing, and I hit just that thump. I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Let's keep doing this a little bit more. So I'm sitting there, and pitch it out the exact same spot. And this fish would end up being 4.8 or 3.82,
Nice.
3.82.
Oh
So
wow.
and
That's
I,
nice.
when I set my jigs pretty hard. I've
Yeah.
Seen that.
unfortunately I've set a few where if I'm fishing out on a jetty, water on both sides, I've set the hook and the fish is flown up out of the water over to the other side, stuff like that. But I must have gave it some extra mustard because I set the hook on this thing, and like almost a 4-pound bass, I pulled him up out of the water with the hook set. And I was like, oh God. And then I saw how big it was. I was like, oh God, I gotta get down there. But yeah, and then I hit the rest of that shoreline just getting beat up by the wind. I when I got back, my face was just wind burnt red.
Yeah.
But I
It's
ended up catching 4 or 5 more along that shoreline, just
okay.
having to get beat up, and really really had to pay attention, trying to watch my line, because it wasn't like a bite where you could actually see it or feel it. So it was like the weirdest bite. It was just the littlest things that would sometimes it would move just a little bit opposite of what the wind was blowing to, so you're like, okay, maybe something. And it was just something's different. I got to set the hook. So
Okay. And what were you throwing?
Do you ever do the double hook
Which-
set? Like the
what's
guys in the
that?
Delta? The double hook set.
I'm not familiar. What is that?
So the guys in the Delta, they always fish like super, super heavy cover, and there's always current going. That's crazy. There's big fish in there. There's like, 15, 16 pounders. And the guys have the frogs a lot of the time. The frog and the jig are like two of the most used baits on the Delta, besides like larger crankdowns,
Okay.
like big baits generally. And they usually do the double hook set, especially guys like Kelly. He's like one of the big tournament fishermen down there, won like couple $1 million. It's crazy, but they do the double hook set because they've got so much grass and so much cover that they use the double hook set to get the grass off of the lure and to make sure the jig or the bait is actually planted well in there. It actually works. It's a little bit hard on the bass though. So I don't recommend people doing it unless it's very, very important, but it's crazy to see him do that.
A double hook set. That's wild.
Yeah. It's
I've
really cool.
I've never seen anything like that. And I mean, where we have some thick stuff around here, I don't really think it's something that I would run into that often, but it's kind of like popping your lure like a lipless out of the weeds or something like that, essentially.
Exactly.
But
or a chatterbait.
a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, I haven't had to do anything like that. And it's crazy. Like everything, the lake that I've been going to this summer was really scummy, the whole nine. But the crazier thing is we haven't had rain out here in forever. So every water is like dropped down way, way, way lower than what it should be,
Yeah.
And
crazy.
So it's like, I don't know if the weed lines are no longer viable, like they're no longer alive, where the weed lines were, because we didn't go all the way across the bodies of water. But I don't even know. Oh, geez. I'm seeing comments show up now. Oh man. But
some
yeah,
of
it's
them
crazy.
may or may not want to see.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Well, you did get a custom there, Dizzle.
Yeah.
How long are you resting your jig on the bottom? Dead sticking for 5 seconds longer?
Oh,
what is the average?
Jeez. It's hard for me to say because I do everything. I try to do every type of presentation that I know how to, whether it be like a full-on dead stick, a quick pop, drag, hop, the whole nine. This time around, it was a little bit longer. It was a pretty aggressive pop off the bottom. And then it was like a let it set 2, 3, maybe even 4 seconds. And the crazy thing is before I actually started catching the fish, it was like, I don't know if you guys ever had those days where you're like, oh, fishing sucks. I'm kind of getting bored. I'm not really doing what I should be doing. And I was like, kind of like a kid playing left field. I'm just kind of looking at the butterflies flying by, and then all of a sudden I feel a bite. So it was a longer pause, and that's what I ended up getting the bites on these last couple of times I've been out. It's, that longer pause, and you just got to kind of set. And like I said earlier, you can't just rely on watching it. You can't just rely on feeling the pop. You got to kind of do all of it to have it all kind of come together to catch these, it seems like recently.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Dad used to
I think
say
definitely changing up the retrieve is important for sure on any bait, really. It's getting those like pops in there, or maybe pauses to make those fish kind of react to the bait, or maybe to stare at it a little bit longer and choose to actually bite it, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know.
What's
that? I was just gonna say it's the. My thing is the constant. I've told this 100 times on Devo's lives. The slow down, telling myself, like, sometimes even out loud. I'm sitting there. It's kind of weird. I'm like out there talking to myself, just like on the bank. Slow down, slow down. What are you doing? Slow down. You got to slow down. That kind of stuff. But it's doing that and making sure that I'm watching for any type of follow-ups and things like that. I know that a couple of times this year, the strikes have been coming like a lot closer to the shore. So it must be I wasn't going slow enough, and they were interested. They might have wanted to eat it, and had it sit there just a second longer, they might have. But definitely watching for any type of follow-up and things like that. Because I know a lot of the fish around here too, they're really tucked into, the wind-blown, banks and things like that, especially if they're rocky. They're really tucked in there right now. So that's another thing, making sure that I'm watching to see if anything's following it up, because if they are, obviously they want to eat, and got to slow down even more.
Yeah, I think Jermaine and I know I kind of want to touch on this right now, but we can later in the video or the live stream. But the power bait, what are your thoughts on power bait skirts? on jigs. Have you messed with them,
Those
or are
are
you
the
even
live
going
skirts,
to?
right? Or what they call the
So these
living
are
or
the
the
ones,
lives?
Berkeley Power Bait. They
They're
have the
scented
max scent
skirts.
infused
Oh,
inside the
okay,
skirt.
yeah, those
So this
ones.
is the
Okay.
slobber knocker, and this is their pitching jig, heavy cover
Yeah.
pitching jig.
They reintroduced a whole jig line with scented skirts, every head style, all the way up
Yep.
to a bladed jig, all
Mhm.
I
sizes.
actually,
Pretty cool.
where was it? I hope War Eagle's not listening, because I did go out and I have recently. I've seen some of the new jigs, and I have picked them up. It's just
Mhm.
I gotta convince myself to try new things. I'm terrible at trying new types of lures and things like that, especially when it comes to a jig, when I'm so confident with a War Eagle and how it looks and how I know how to work it and things like that. So I have
Mhm.
some, I just haven't tried them yet.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I know Jermaine and I have had a lot of luck on the actual slobber knocker. I was
Yes.
very skeptical about it. I am a jackhammer and a Magula moth and an Imakatsu chatterbait nut. Those are
Mm-hmm.
my 2 or 3 different chatterbaits that I live and die by. But I
Sure.
was very impressed with this one. It's $13, which is a little less than the jackhammer, and it
Less,
snacks
Yep.
way, way less,
way
and has
less.
good colors.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. I'll definitely have to
Very
check
good
that
bait
out. I
for
know
You get some.
I did
yes, definitely.
actually. I have been catching a few on what is the big bladed chatterbait?
The
What's
big
that one
blade.
called? Yeah,
The
it's just the
Z-Man
big
big
blade,
blade.
right?
Yes.
I didn't bring a whole lot of stuff this time when I came out, just because I had some other things that I knew I had to do, and I didn't know if I was going to get out and fish a whole lot while I was here. But so I
Mhm.
just grabbed a few, lures and came out, and like that happened to be just one of them that happened to be in one of the bags that I grabbed. And I
Mhm.
actually been catching some on the big blade.
Hmm.
With that, for
Okay.
me, again, it's like I gotta slow down because it feels like I feel like it kind of burns in a little bit quicker for the vibration that it gives off. I don't know if that's just kind of in my head. In order to get that big thump or that big kick from the blade, I feel like I got to reel it faster. So maybe
Mhm.
something in my head, but still.
What size do you have in that? Because I have the 3/8, and I feel it blows out if I don't put the right trailer on there.
Yeah, I want to say I think they come in half ounce, right? I'm pretty sure
They
they
make a
were.
half ounce.
I'm pretty sure that they were the half ounce versions.
Okay. Okay.
But
I need
yeah,
to get the bigger
My hands
size
on the
just
big
in
blade,
case.
yes.
Yes, it
yeah,
does come through wood really, really
Yeah.
well.
but yeah,
We
that's
also have
something
Rich in
that
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty dang interesting. I need to check out some more of those and actually give them a throw. And like I said, get out of my comfort zone. I got to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely something very important to do is to try new things. That's what Jeff and Paul were actually talking about on their live stream. They were talking
Yeah.
about trying new baits. They've just got into swim baiting, and
Hmm.
so far they've had some good luck on it actually. So I'm very happy for them that they've been messing around with new stuff and not just using Ned rigs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's very important is to challenge yourself and try different things in
Hmm.
fishing, especially nowadays when there's so much pressure. There's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure.
Got to give
Oh
them
yeah.
different looks.
Yes.
Got to give them different looks.
Yeah. And I think T and Bassmaster had a question about rods. Here we
Oh
go. I
yeah, I
think
did
this is
see
it.
that.
Yes.
There it is. Good
Yep.
find.
Oh, the rod question. So I know for me, um, God, what is it? It's the 7'2" Intenza.
Okay. I've never
Is
tried that one.
it? The thing I like really, it's I like little things that are different stick out to me. So the nut that you tighten to actually hold your reel in, that's where
Mhm.
the lure keeper is as well. So it's got like a metal ring around there, and it's got little slots where you can stick your hook through and things like that. So the
Okay.
little
Mhm.
things really kind of catch me, and it was Debo recommended it to me, so I went off of his recommendation. But yeah, like I said, I think it's a 7'2" heavy,
Mhm.
which usually it's a little bit bigger than what I've been using for jigs. Traditionally, it was more along the lines of 7 foot medium heavy. But I made the switch, and I like it. It's very, very sensitive. It's been a
Yeah.
great rod so far.
Yeah.
Nice.
I use a KVD, Lose KVD for the same reason. It's got the bait keeper. So
Yeah.
you get your
Mhm.
jig off there nice and easy. It's quick.
Yep.
And then I use a 7.2 heavy Abu Garcia Veritas, the white one.
Nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's my
Yeah,
jig
I
I
like the
use.
right now.
I have a couple of Veritas. One of them I think is a frog. I have it for a frog right out.
I got
I
two as well
believe.
too. I got the frog
Yeah.
one.
okay.
Yeah. I don't like the micro guides. I had 3 of them that
Yes.
I was frog fishing, and there's 3 guides that are just vamoose.
they're just gone. It's like I don't even
Yes.
know what happens to them. It's
Yeah,
like, oh
they
man,
were there one
what?
day, and then I just went to put my rod away, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I am
So
very against micro guides unless you're
Are
fishing
they,
straight braid. But even then, it's just kind of like, why would you use them?
yeah. So are the new Abu Garcias? Because I know Abu was like they almost went all in for micro guides there for a minute. They weren't doing
yeah,
anything else. They just kind
Yeah.
of they're like dove headfirst into the shallow end with micro guides, and then they kind of they're at a modified guide system now almost, aren't they? Where it's
I'm not sure.
micro but not
I'm
100%
not gonna say I
micro.
mind the
So
guides.
like
I
a
think it's
smaller than
more the
average.
glue.
What's that?
'Cause I said I don't mind the guides. It's more the glue, like the rod
Yeah.
cast and everything. Whatever glue or whatever their system they're using to hold the guides in, they just need to change
The
that.
epoxy.
Yeah, whatever that is. Like
Okay.
maybe like,
Something,
I'm not getting that Abu. I'm just saying maybe in that batch they use some cheap epoxy or whatever it was.
Could have
Because,
been, yeah.
I have 2 of them. One of them, the guide came out, and I kind of just stuck it back in because it was on my
Yep.
line, and it just stayed.
Yeah.
That's my jig rod. And then my
Yeah.
frog rod, like I said, I smoked 3 of them. I have no idea where they are.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
you're just out there, you're pitching, and all of a sudden you're like, what is that ticking sound? Is there something?
Yeah,
What's going on
yeah,
around me?
that's
And
exactly
then
what
you
happened.
look and yeah.
I was like,
it-
oh,
Yeah.
there's a free guide hanging there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the Megabass Orochi Double X Perfect Pitch. It's a Megabass rod.
okay.
It is
Okay.
amazing. It's 7.2. It's an extra fast though, but it doesn't
Okay.
act like an extra fast. It acts more like a fast that's very slightly faster than a fast. It's real weird, but it's a really good rod for like heavier jigs, slightly heavier jigs than average. So anything
Yeah.
like above a half ounce is what I like to throw on that rod. It's an absolutely amazing rod. Would definitely recommend it. Super sensitive. But that's what I throw my jigs on.
I was gonna say, anything like above a half ounce, and really even honestly a half ounce got scary to me. I don't, I don't like, for whatever reason. I've never had a whole lot of luck on any jigs that are really a half ounce or bigger. I've always gone super finessey, small.
Yeah.
I have bumped up the trailer a little bit from time to time to give it a little bit more weight.
The stuff right here.
Yep. But
Yeah,
for
this
the
is
most
a
part,
yeah.
I'm a real light jig kind of guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
So the
sir.
big stuff scares you.
Yes.
Yeah,
You don't like the big
I
stuff.
argue with this guy every week, Randy. Don't worry, I'm on your side.
I'm like,
Get out of here. The hell am I
man,
going to do
the bukas, but the bukas I think are 3/4 of an ounce. Some of the bull shafts.
Those are really like small. Like I was very
Yeah.
impressed with the action. It's like identical to the actual like resin version. Very, very, very well done.
But I'm like, I'm throwing these and I'm like, this is so weird. This bait is so heavy. I'm feeling this as I'm casting. I'm not used to anything like that. But it's like, again, that's another thing where I got to get it out of my head. It's like, I gotta not, bigger baits aren't scary. They're not mean. They're not going to do whatever my head thinks that they're going to do to me when I'm trying to cast them and whatnot. But I don't know. I'm a smaller bait kind of guy, and I have tried to branch out a little bit. Like I said, with the bukas, that was my first dipping my toe into a little bit bigger of a bait. But outside of that, I'm a smaller bait guy.
Yeah. I live and die by the big bait. I've got like big, just giant. I mean, that's my thing. I like the big baits, but
Right.
there's a time and a place where you need to downsize to something like a finesse jig like this. It still presents a big enough profile that it'll get those bigger than average bites, but it's still, you can catch a good amount of fish on it,
Yep.
This one, I think this is one by Nichols Lures. Super light skirt.
That's nice.
It has a lot of action in the water. It just unfolds and pulsates, especially when you have some current going.
Compact guys.
Yeah. They're really good around the spawn too, because then the hook is really tight up against the actual bait.
Yeah.
So when the fish just nips at it or just kind of like just grabs the end of it, it's usually going to get
It's
that
so
hook because
good.
it's all compact.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
Yep.
that's what I love about those.
That's
And
really
you know,
nice.
I that's the other thing that I do. It's like sometimes I take like a War Eagle and I actually trim the skirt down. I know I said that before, but it's like trim the skirt down to make that presentation even smaller. And I know if we are fishing somewhere that has smallmouth in it, I almost feel like, again, this could be subconscious, but I have to trim that skirt down because I feel like they're
Yeah.
going for too much of that fluff or too much of that, the floaty
Mhm.
appendages that aren't connected to that hook very well, So that's something
Yeah.
that I always do with smallmouth as well.
And did you ever see that episode of Tactical Bassin where it says that smallmouth try to kill the craw first, so they will attack the claws and shake it,
Yeah.
and that's when you feel that, oh my god, and you set it
Yep.
and you get nothing, and you're like, oh, he thumped it. How the hell did he not
Yeah.
get it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're like, that was a
good
solid
stuff.
thump. How did I not
Yeah,
hook up with that fish? Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I know a lot of fish they'll go after the claws, and honestly, that's why you come back and your jig's only got one of those claws on it, because they're trying to rip those things off because it's a lot easier to eat something that can't pinch your mouth, than
yeah.
Yeah.
it is with something that can.
And
Yeah.
you're making it.
And I think, oh yeah.
That's the higher end there, my boy.
Yes, it is. The
I'm
Braylist,
working
I've
on
heard
it.
good things from that. I've heard good.
Yeah, no, I've heard great things about the X Pride too. I want one.
Oh yeah.
Gonna,
The eggs are on sale, like really cheap right now. So if you want a good rod, they're on
yeah,
sale.
yeah,
Got it. And this goes back to the old school me, and it's like I see all these different rods, and honestly, if Devo doesn't have one where I can get my kind of hands on it beforehand, I'm not comfortable in just buying a rod. I want to get the thing in my hand. I want to be
I
able to
feel you
feel
on
it.
that.
I want to get that reel in my
Yes.
hand. I want to feel it. There's just something about it because I'm terrible at returning stuff also. So like
Yeah,
if I buy something,
won't do
I'm
it.
just like, I own this now. I'm not going to return it. It's
Yep.
mine. I'm going to have to keep it. So if I
Yeah.
don't like it, I'm out of luck.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's
feel
one
you
of the
on
things that's keeping tackle shops in business is because some of the specialty lures that they carry
Yep.
and the other fact that you can actually go in there and handle all the gear,
Mhm.
especially like places like the Hookup Tackle where they have a whole test tank where you can take the rod, hook it up to a reel, and test it in a giant test tank
Yeah, that's
along
crazy.
with the lures, which is awesome. So I
That's
think
definitely
that's
That's an
down
definitely a
amazing
south
step.
stuff.
idea.
They would never do that up here.
It is. It's very, very cool.
That's amazing.
But I'm not a fan of Abu Garcia or Pure Fishing. I don't really like some of their products. They're kind of cheap. They're made all in the same factory. I mean, most lures are made in the same factory or same two factories in China. But I mean, some of the products are good. I just never had luck with the
My
actual
dad's a big
Abu Garcia
Garcia guy,
reels.
so that's kind of
Yeah,
what got
Yeah,
me.
and
yeah.
I know I had the hookup because it used to be one of their factories where they did like a lot of plastics and work and things like that on their lures, or distribution center used to be in Storm Lake, Iowa,
Okay.
like around Okoboji. And I used to go up
Mhm.
to Okoboji all the time. So
Mhm.
they have a bunch of big lakes and things like that. So I'd go in there and they would always be having, it seemed like every weekend was a giant tent sale with these big, 50-gallon plastic drums filled with all these rods and all this stuff, like super, super cheap. So it's like, here, do you want a spool of 10,000 yards of fishing line for $7 or something like that? But they had crazy deals going on up there. So I ended up getting a lot of their stuff. So I was really used to kind of using it and knew that sometimes some of the reels were kind of finicky, or I might be missing
Mhm.
an eye here or there more times than not with some of their rods. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've kind of gone away from them, but I can't say anything bad about them either. Pretty decent
Mhm.
company for especially beginners, I feel.
Yeah,
Oh, most
I think
certainly.
I'm
Most
gonna
certainly.
go.
Cheap stuff too.
I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna go full out Dobbins. Not
You're
full
gonna
out
Yeah.
like only, but I got a guy who gets a discount and he'll extend that my way. And then I just hear really, 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 really good things about them, So
I like
yeah.
them a lot.
hella
Very
bass.
good rods. They're made in the USA.
Yeah, that
Yes.
helps.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
helps
You
a lot for me. I like that.
gotta love that.
I might get that. I don't know. The problem is Orochis are so expensive. I only own one, and
Yeah.
I probably won't own one. I'll only
Isn't
own
that
one
like a
for a while.
$500
No,
rod?
no, not that much. I could not bring myself to
I'm pretty sure the Braillist is. I looked it up. I'm
the
pretty sure.
Orochi version. So there's the Levante, Orochi, the Triza, and then the P5, and then the other JDM versions. And they're
Yeah.
coming out with US versions of the P5 though, which is nice. But the Orochi is like the mid-range 300, so it's a pretty good rod.
I mean, that's
Very
still that's the whole
Yeah,
set.
it is. That's the max
It-
I will spend on a rod or a reel.
Yeah.
if the 20 years ago, if somehow my version of myself could be watching this right now, and I'm just sitting here thinking about, yeah, I got a couple of reels that, you know, are over 200, you know, substantially over $200 for a reel. Like, that version of me would be like, what are you how are you doing this? Where are
Yeah,
you getting,
right.
you know?
Nope.
And it's like, oh, here's a $500 combo is not something very
crazy.
difficult to come across. I mean,
It's not that wild.
you know, it's not terribly, I mean, it's a lot of money, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but
Yeah.
it's like
That's
back
a nice
then.
combo.
Oh yeah, back when I was younger, I'd been like, man, who's got that kind of money to spend on fishing rods and reels? And I was, you know, still doing it back then. And
So you know what's
I'm-
funny? I was having that
What's
same conversation with my boy Jason Emery. We were texting back and forth today, and I was like, you know what? I got to remind myself all the time. And then Brendan, the same thing for you. Like, especially you. Like, I'm 32 years old. All these guys that I watch and see, they were like a boat,
They get all the stuff for free most of the time.
Yeah, not only are they sponsored and they're getting it for a heavily discounted or free, they're 50 something, they're 40 plus. You know, it's like they're established. You know, they've been doing this for 20 years. It's like, you know, I gotta I gotta
Tone it down.
Back and be like, you know what? Take it easy there, Chief. You got 10 years to go. You got 10 years to go.
I get a lot of my stuff from like American Legacy Fishing, eBay, or one of my favorite places of all time. I would highly suggest this that you shop there. All right. Unless you are fishing conventional stuff, then I wouldn't recommend it. Swimbait Underground. It's individual sellers. You can get scammed there, but it's very cheap stuff. Like, you can find things. Most of the people there are really great people, and they're willing to work with you on prices. But I buy like almost all of my big baits from there. I buy a lot of like rods and reels from there as well. Super cheap stuff. It's better than eBay, because eBay, you have to pay all of these fees. With there, it's like Facebook Marketplace pretty much for fishing.
It gets wild.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. I just pulled that up. I'm sure I'll be stuck on that now for a while. But yeah,
it's an awesome forum.
That's cool. That's definitely cool.
Don't go to the website. Go to the forum. The forum is where you find, and then it's under black market.
Yeah. I saw. I typed it into Google search, and I was like, black market. Should I be clicking on this website? But yeah. No, dude, do I need a special browser for this? What's going on?
A separate computer. That's what you need.
Yeah.
You need to get off of your property and your Wi-Fi. That way nothing happens.
I got something. Can I get a little roll call real quick? Is my boy Bassin with Big Malone in here?
I'm not sure.
I saw him earlier. Bassin with Big Malone. Are you here, buddy? Give me a little shout out.
I haven't seen him in here.
I haven't seen him in a little bit, but.
Oh, yeah, they do sell some refurbished ones.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yes.
Well,
Colby says he makes his own rods, which is really
interesting.
I
saw that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. That's very, very, very interesting.
I know you can get into it for like $500 and start making like a couple of rods for $500, which is really cool. And then it's like $80 for blank, for like a $200 blank. It's crazy.
So is that you're getting the blank and you're putting like your eyes on and your grips and the whole nine?
Yeah, you get to do everything.
Which is cool. I like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I know I've seen, different outdoor shows around here. I've seen some booths. Rarely I'll see a booth that is like they do, from blanks all the way up and, fully customizable as far as what the actual look is, your eyes, your grips, the whole nine. I've seen some people doing that, and they want a pretty penny for those rods too, especially,
they do.
When you go real deep into the customization, but that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. F5 rods are amazing. Those are like a smaller company custom. but they're really good rods.
Definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's a very, 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 very good idea, and that'll
I
actually
do like
keep
that.
me out of a lot of trouble.
That's very smart.
Last year, Black Friday, I kind of went. So my Black Friday story from last year.
This is good.
I bought 3 rods, 2 reels. In the mail, 4 reels, 3 rods came. So Tackle Warehouse messed up and doubled my reel order, which is amazing. I got 2 free reels. I got a free Lose LFS and a free KVD.
But they didn't charge you for both of them.
Didn't charge me for both. It was just a very interesting conversation with my girlfriend.
I swear. No, seriously, this time I didn't order this many. They just showed up like this.
I didn't do it. I swear. I put it on. I didn't do it. I didn't go that crazy. I didn't.
You're like, I'll show you the real receipt. I mean, I'll show you the receipt
I pulled it out.
if you want to see it.
Look at it. Look at it. It says right there, 2.
She's like, you're probably just friends with somebody there that's messing up with the receipt and making it a 0.
Yeah, that is funny.
That's hilarious.
It's funny.
God, that's funny.
But yeah,
And
actually, I
like,
got 2 reels, 2 free reels out of it. Crazy.
That's insane. And I don't know what the deal is. It's like the very few times that I actually send something back, especially if it's through the, if I bought something online, I'll try to send it back. And like I've come across more companies recently where they're like, nah, just do whatever you want to with whatever X, Y, or Z product that is. And I'm like,
well, the C word is a big reason for that too.
Oh yeah, true. But I remember, not fishing related. I bought I want to say it was like a bed frame or something, and it showed up, and I don't remember. I think it was Wayfair. I don't know if you've ever got anything off of Wayfair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like a $400 bed frame, and I'm like, yeah, this like the connections really weren't there. It didn't seem that solid, the whole 9. And I call them up, and they're like, all right, cool. Well, we'll just give you a discount, and I don't know, do whatever you want to with that bed frame. So allegedly, I may have sold it to somebody else for like $200, and I got a refund. So it's like a win-win.
All right.
You can make this into a business now. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I wouldn't recommend doing that because it might catch on sooner or later. But yeah, that's the only good thing that I've come across besides getting all of the options available online that I've ran across. That's steered me away from going to a store. Stores aren't usually, they usually want their stuff back if you buy something at a store. You try.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, Illuminathan says he likes Shimano, Loomis, Daiwa, Dobbins, and Megabass. Those are all great ones. I am not too big of a fan of Abu either. Loose are okay, the ones that I've tried anyway. But the E6 line of Loomis rods is amazing. For sure.
Definitely.
Frank feels alone. Where did Frank go? I haven't seen him in here. He went on the Burley show, so congrats to you.
Right? I was hoping so. Yeah, I guess I'll do it anyway. But so my guy Bassin Big Malone, he actually sent me some custom skirts.
Oh, dope!
So I figured while we got the Dizzle on, we're talking about jigs. I show off some jig skirts, and I actually asked him, and I think conveniently, the first one I pull out, I was like, "Yo, can you make me like a perch pattern? Because there's a lot of perch in my lakes." I think that's it right there.
Does that have?
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at my computer screen. That's a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Look at this. We're silly and noobs. So I blow myself up. There I go.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like the color in that.
Definitely
So
good.
Big shout out to Basso and Big Malone. I'll go through a couple of these here.
Is that a little on the connection there? Is that for a little hook spot for like a rattle or Yep, do you use those a whole lot?
I do not.
I love using rattles.
I've heard they do really good. This one's like almost like a green.
Oh, that's interesting. It's got copper in it. It's pretty cool. Never seen that.
Exactly. That's nice.
I am not a rattle type of guy whatsoever on my jigs. I usually pull if
Really?
they come with them on there.
You
I'll
guys
pull them
can
off.
keep
Yep.
talking. I'm just gonna keep going through colors.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Some
That's
cool
that would
colors.
be a winner around here for sure.
Yeah.
I would toss that one for sure.
Yeah,
I
this
like
is
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the rattles because like there's a lot of like muddy water, like less than a foot of visibility around here. So
Sure.
whenever I put on a rattle, I start catching fish. Whenever I take it off, just to experiment, I stop catching the amount of fish that I'm catching, or stop catching the quality of fish. So a rattle has always
Yeah.
been something that I've like to use. So I'll either tie them on there myself if the jig doesn't come with it, or I will just put them in the little holes that they have on there. So I think it makes a difference.
This is
And
nice.
I've seen it make a difference in some situations. In other situations, maybe not so much. Like when the fish are grouped up super tight to a certain
Mhm.
area, I haven't found it matters too much.
Black and blue.
There you go.
Oh, yes.
The OG.
Black and blue. Where's the purple? We need some purple.
Did you see
I
the
thought I
last
saw
one?
some. Yes, I think I did. June
That
bug.
is crazy. I didn't want to say
Oh,
anything while you
yes.
guys were talking. That is the
That
That
is the
is- yeah.
deal. June bug is the
purple and
best.
gold and black. Like that's
Man,
nuts. These
that's awesome.
these are great. Big shout out to
Yeah.
Basso and Big Malone. Like not even covering the thing.
Oh, that's the Delta, or no, what is it? What color was that? Missouri craw? I think that's what it was, right?
Oh yeah.
That-
It's like a Missouri.
That black peanut butter and jelly and the
There's like a
yeah. Ooh, that's a good one too. Wow.
Yeah.
bunch of nice skirts here from. Geez, I feel like this bag's never ending either.
Ooh, that's a good one too. So Jason Emery says
interesting.
he sent us a bunch of pictures of these super dope jigs that he did for Creek and Trail.
Yeah,
That was, like,
he did make
awesome.
some nice ones. He sent me the pictures of those. Those were fire. This is almost like a sexy shad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh yeah.
There's another interesting one. Wow.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh man.
Some nice ones.
That's a good looking skirt right there.
Gold in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go, Randy. This would probably be familiar to you, buddy.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that like what?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like pond scum, right?
No, that's that version of a skirt with War Eagle is
Actually-
actually called Chartreuse Purple and Black.
Very, very simple and plain with their
There you go,
color.
buddy.
Yeah. The Pond Scum has just a touch of orange in it, I believe, doesn't it? I think.
I think this is
I can
pond
pull it
scum.
up if you need.
Yep, there it is. That's the Pond Scum
Okay.
right there.
It's pond scum.
Looks like a bluegill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh,
So T&. Bassmaster said, "Oh,
more.
I gotta
There
stop for
you
that
go.
color right there."
Keep chatting though. Don't worry about
That
me and
is-
my big old head, guys. I'm just showing off these skirts.
So T&. Bassmaster says, "Who has tried dirty jigs?" I think all of us have. I think by this
I
time.
believe. Yeah.
I've used it for some dirty jigs.
Oh yeah, I think they're one of my favorite jig companies because they make the California swim jig, which is this hook or this swim jig that's built on this massive hook, and I really like thick
Dirty
gauge
jigs.
wire. That is like my go-to swim jig.
Not a dirty
Big
jig,
swim
Ooh.
jig.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I've
right?
definitely used their swim jigs, yeah.
I think that's a dirty jig swim head. Oh, this way.
I think that might be.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks
I
good.
think so. I got my jig box right here. All right, let me get my big head out of here, guys.
Oh, here's Bassin with Big Balone.
There we go. Yo, Bass and Big Mold. I was just showing off your skirts, bro.
Good looking skirts, definitely.
There he is. There
Love
he
'em.
is.
And that's awesome because you have those naked chatterbaits, and then you could just switch
Yes.
out the colors
Mm.
instead of bringing like 10 chatterbaits. You just bring 2 chatterbaits and a
Then
couple
you
of
get
skirts.
yourself some of these, and these are pretty fun too because these are Chatterbait Elites. They just sell them now by 2-pack.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask if you've messed around with any of those. I came across
Yeah.
those. I don't know
I
how long
did.
ago, but just recently.
So I just put the first time I used it, I just put a soft plastic on it. I was at a spot
Mhm.
where it was just the reservoir with water was really low. So I was in a weird spot. Kind of you need a boat to be there. Some kid caught a 5-pound smallmouth off the bank. So I kind of just off on fish brain. So I ran over there. I was like, oh, gotta try it. and I got skunked. I don't know nothing about it, but it was like 45 minutes away. So I was like, I'm going. But that was the only place I threw it. But I just threw a soft plastic on there and it was nice.
Yeah.
Like Brandon was saying, I could essentially just keep changing skirts.
Yeah.
It's definitely time
until
saver.
I figure it out,
I've never
sure.
been disappointed in a chatterbait where the actual tie for the skirt has like broken just after, use and things like that. I
Mhm.
really get down on naked chatterbaits. They work, man. They work really good, actually.
Yeah, they really do. I'm doing this right now because I was waiting for this. Yes.
Yeah, Illuminathan says it right. California swim jig with a D Walker is amazing.
Oh, D Walker's amazing.
They're awesome. Very, very good
D-Walker's
bait.
amazing.
So kind of
Alright,
on that
so-
same line with the naked chatterbait heads, have you
Mhm.
guys used the Z-Man Willow
I
Vibe
did.
actually?
Yes.
The Willow
Yes.
Vibes?
That I have not used.
I love the action that they give off.
They're
And
pretty
you can
cool.
like if you really give them a good pop, they just they're super erratic and all over. There you go.
It is.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's cool looking.
Which color?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I probably got to push it up a little bit more, but
Yeah. Looks good though.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, those Willow Vibes are pretty cool with like a straight tail trailer on it.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool little bait. I like those a lot.
Yeah.
Especially whenever the bass are like schooling and they're chasing like small bait fish in a pond. You throw
Mhm.
that thing out there and it definitely gets smashed. But the Flashback by Z-Man, it's a new chatterbait, is
Okay.
micro. This is like, I'm talking like ultralight chatterbait.
Really?
Really?
Yes, my buddy
Smaller
Steve.
than the Minimax?
No, yes, it's smaller than Minimax. My buddy Steve
I think that's
Chapman
weird.
from
Like
Get
they're
Your
kind of
Fish On
competing with themselves.
says,
But okay.
yeah, my buddy Steve Chapman from Get Your Fishing, we'll have him on the show sometime, I'm sure. He says it hits just as hard as the jackhammer,
Really?
But okay.
which is weird because it's tiny. He says that it hits that hard, and I just need to get some. But he says he's been buying a bunch of
wow.
them. He has videos of fishing them. He says use them with the trailer that they come with, though. So it's pretty cool.
1/16 and 1/8 ounce. Those things are
Yes.
tiny.
And
That's
they
what
hit that
it's
hard?
ultralight.
Like how do they
That's what
not?
he says.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know.
They seem like they would
It's-
knock themselves off.
It's
Being
weird.
that light,
And
like
he
you can't
has some
support.
videos of the action underwater. It's really crazy how much it actually gives off. They're definitely something to look into. Like if you like ultralight or whatever, it's cool.
Mhm.
But have you ever tried any of these like hookup tackle exclusive colors in the jackhammer?
I
Randy?
have not.
Okay,
No.
because they come
That
with these
blade is
different colored
nice.
blades. It's a matte finish gold blade. I have to tell you what, these colors are amazing.
Which one
And
is
the
that?
blades. This is the herring color.
Yeah,
I still haven't
I
gotten
love
the
that.
chartreuse
Everyone's
shad
knowing
one
about
yet.
that herring now. It's nice. I like that color though.
Yeah,
I
they're
think I
amazing.
had I used to get mystery tackle box a long time ago, like back in the day.
Mhm.
And I have some crazy baits that I'm like, this had to have been a mystery tackle box thing. But I remember I got it was a chatterbait and it came in like a midnight purple blue color, and it was
Ooh.
like an exclusive for that mystery tackle box. And I've wanted to use it so bad, but I don't want to use it because I can't replace it. And it's beautiful. And then now that I'm thinking about it, I have no idea even where it is anymore. So I probably should have just used it and had the fun in using it rather than probably it being lost now to the fishing gods,
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tyler here says
Yeah.
that he's been fishing it for years, or I'm not sure which one he's talking about. Is he talking about the flashback? Or is he talking about... I'm not sure which one he's talking about. Is he talking about the Minimax or are you talking about the flashback?
I think he's talking about the flashback. The Minimax doesn't come in 3/16.
Okay.
Minimax
I thought it was a new one. That's what I thought it was, but yeah, I haven't tried it out yet. I definitely need to get one though.
But he said that the 1/8 ounce doesn't thump as hard.
Okay.
Coming to think of it, there's a local bait shop around here, and I think I may have seen some of those mini maxes in there.
Yeah, I
You
got
said that
some.
they come with a trailer, right? Like the old
Yeah,
school chatterbaits used
yeah,
to,
Not the
yeah. They
mini
come with
max,
like a
the other
little.
one,
Yeah, the flashback
or
comes
the
with a
flashback.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
flashback.
and my
Okay.
buddy says it works better with it. So I don't know.
Huh.
I haven't tried it yet though. So
I may have to go check that out tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Interesting.
talking about the flashback. Yeah, the flashback.
Yeah.
The mini max. Yeah, the mini max has been around a
Oh,
bit.
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
he
both have
says
powers
so.
now. It's all right.
So Tyler
Man.
says that you. I say I don't use the trailer that comes with it, and use like a small, like a 2.5 Slim Swims. So two
Okay.
different opinions. I'll have when I get it, I'll have to get all the trailers and figure out which one works the best. So that'll be cool though.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it
I
was new.
are you guys opposed to using like a paddle tail on a chatterbait? What's your take on that?
No,
No, I mean I'll use
I
it
know
maybe,
I
but I
know
like
a
that
lot of
razor
people.
shed more.
I don't.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I on the mini max, I actually use the new the smaller whale, the 3.5-inch whale, and it's
Okay.
actually really nice because so on a chatterbait, I would like a tighter kicking paddle tail. I don't like
Mhm.
the wobble
Yeah.
paddle tails because I feel like that throws off the action. But if you get a paddle
Yep.
tail with a nice tight action, it's about the same thing to me.
Hmm.
And I think it's got like a better action because to me, bluegill and smaller bait fish, they kind of have that tighter tail kick.
Yep.
Big
Yep.
fish are like, so
Yeah.
that's kind of like, oh, maybe I can't get him. But when they see that ding, 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 they're like, yeah, you're a small
Yeah.
little son.
He's trying to swim as fast as he can right
Yeah,
now. He
exactly.
ain't gonna
He's
go
trying to
too
get
much
away.
faster.
So it's like that ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. I like that.
Definitely.
That's just my personal preference. So
Mm-hmm.
You guys go follow Jason Emery on Instagram.
yeah,
Super cool dude.
you
Awesome.
need some jigs.
Yes,
I'll check him
he's
out.
the guy. Yes. So I did not know it was a Walmart special. I'll have to go there and get one then.
Hmm.
Okay, so Hellbass says he also uses that one. So, well, he says he doesn't use the trailers that come with them too. So that's 2-1. Well, I'll
There we
definitely
go.
have to get some in my hands and figure it out. But that's awesome. DBG Fishing
There we go.
says, I make my own chatterbaits. On my last order, I got some mega blades. Haven't made any yet because the bass in Utah would probably swim to Idaho from fear. Oh, man.
That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, again, that goes to the bigger baits scare me, man. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
scaring the fish off with them.
I
It
usually
works.
go down before I go up.
Yeah.
I start big, then I go down. Which this one's not even that big. This is 6 or
Oh,
7
jeez.
inches.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm
What
saying.
is what does that weigh? What's the weight on that?
This one I just finished tonight, but
How
this
much does it weigh?
is 3 ounces, so
Oh.
not heavy at all. It's like
That's-
pretty
yeah.
light. I mean,
Yeah, not
I
at
don't
all.
even have anything that can throw that.
this is a prototype in the moment. It's got my logo on the tail.
Nothing.
There was a streak where that would have been a really big fish for me this year.
I've caught fish that are that big too. It's pretty funny.
It's always funny when you catch a fish on a big lure like that, or like a big
And it's the
worm
same
or a
size.
lizard, and it's like same size, a little bit longer, something like that. And it's like, little buddy, what were you thinking, man?
Yeah.
You can't eat this. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Man.
Oh, another trailer I've been using for the small chatterbaits. I'm such a Sixth Sense fanboy. Juggle.
The juggle, yes.
The juggle's nice. That thing is nice.
I
And Randy,
have
I want to use it on some jigs too.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, I know, what
Let's
is it, the prawn? I've used a Sixth Sense prawn, and then there's another one that looks like the prawn. It's more of a crawl, I think.
Is that the new one?
Gosh. No, they have the
No, it's-
prawns and they have the stroker
The
crawl.
stroker crawl.
Yeah, that, and
Yeah.
then the what is it, the clout? Those are the 3 Sixth Sense that
Yeah.
I've used, and
They
I
just came out
love
with the
all those
bongo.
plastics. Really?
Yeah, the bongo is nice. Brandon, you want to
Yeah.
pull that up for us, buddy?
Yeah, sure. Let me
Next
get
tab,
that
I still don't
figured out
even
here.
know the screen share on this, so I'm glad I got the young boy over here. The
Let me
bongo
get the,
just came out. Obviously, I think everybody in here knows I'm a big Sixth Sense fan. I think I can
Yeah.
like I can put my hand out right now and grab like 3 Sixth Sense jigs. Like
I do like those. I like those a lot.
and this color right
All
here
right,
is like
here we go.
bone.
The new Bongo
Yeah.
3.7 inch.
These
So
things
this
look
is their
sick.
version
Okay.
of a menace grub or a
Yeah,
double tail
and
grub.
their colors are like, you know, it's Sixth Sense. Their colors are
Mhm.
crazy. Like they have a
Yeah.
bone
Yeah.
white, that platinum.
Those look
Oh, is
good.
that on a
Definitely.
chatterbait?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a sneak peek at the chatterbait
I don't think
from
it's theirs. I think it's a switchblade. I think it's the queen
you sure?
tackle. I know.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
it
I
is.
saw
It
that.
is. I got
I
excited.
posted it the other day and I got crazy excited too.
Man.
I was like, oh my God.
That's funny.
Man.
Have you guys used, not that I put these two companies in the same, boat or anything, but the 13 fishing soft plastics, have you used any of those?
I have
Those are
not.
pretty good. I like
I
those.
have not.
There's, what is this one called? This is it's the 13 fishing invader, it looks like. It's kind of like a craw, but it's got
Oh
two
yeah,
little
it's like a
appendages
rage
and
bug.
yeah, kind of. I've had a lot of luck with that one,
Yeah.
but on a free rig actually.
Okay.
I've been throwing everything on a free rig. I caught a bass the other day free rigging with a worm on there. I know a lot of people say that they don't like to free rig with a worm, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't have any other creature baits that I haven't already thrown, and those ones haven't caught me anything. So I'm like, I'll just throw a worm on here.
I just don't
Nice.
throw worms.
I don't throw them too often either, except in the
don't.
summer.
That's one of those things where it's like that's used to be what I did. I wouldn't throw anything else besides a worm, and I got away from it because there's so many different baits that I started
Yeah.
trying, and I'm not saying that I had more
Yeah.
luck on the new baits, but I just kind of got away from it, and getting back to it's always fun. It's like getting a new lure or new type of lure, and go back to it every once in a while and
Yeah,
have fun.
it's pretty cool.
I was blown away when I caught that fish. It's like, I'm a worm. What's going on?
An axle. It's a weedless swim jig. So Mike Vogel said, what you do is you take a queen tackle switchblade and you put it on this bad boy. Then you take the soft plastic, you screw it
Yeah.
into the head here, and then
Just
you
like the
T-rig this
ISM.
thing. And then this thing has freedom of motion here, so you get a lot of action, and you're completely weedless.
Mhm.
So you can get it
And I think-
completely. You could literally take a chatterbait and throw it into like the muck. I mean, the blade would probably get caught up, but you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about losing it at all with this.
Yeah.
And then
It's
this
like
is like if you get the nice free range of motion, and then when you hook set, you get in there, and you're good.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I got a bunch of these too.
I think it's ISM.
It's fanboy here, Sign me,
Has-
guys. Stop playing with me. Yeah, look at
I think
that.
it's ISM that has that bait, but it's a knockoff.
There's a white one. There's a bluegill. It's stuck in the black and blue.
It's always fun when you get the
That's what
hook
it
to
is.
go through the eye of another one and you're trying to get them apart.
This one's black light. This is like a Brandon special, right? Not even in the camera. Here's the Brandon special.
Oh yes,
Nice.
Black
that's a
light.
good one.
Definitely.
Dizzle, this or that. You have 4 hours to catch 10 fish, drop shot, or Ned rig. If you fail, no jigs for a year. What would you choose?
I know.
I got to catch 10 fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4 hours. Drop shot
But
or
number
Ned
one,
rig.
that's a long time. But
I'm probably going. I'm going to go a Ned. I have any confidence in the drop shot whatsoever. I mean, I've caught fish on it, but I just don't have any confidence in it. I would
Yeah.
net it up, and actually I've been picking up the Ned recently. When I was back in Iowa, I was throwing it quite a bit actually, and I was like, I miss throwing. Crazy enough, I miss throwing something on a spinning combo. I haven't said that a lot recently. I'm been, bait caster or die. It's picking one of those up and just kind of tossing it around. It's a lot easier on you, on your body. Hucking a big lure all day long with a bait caster kind of gets taxing. But I'm going Ned on that 100%.
Nice. So you think you're gonna fail, or you think you're gonna win?
I hope I'll win. I'm pretty confident I could do that.
Yeah.
Pretty confident.
So DBG Fishing says I should make up some and send you guys to keep or give them away. So that'd be awesome if you. I mean, you definitely don't have to do that, but that would be awesome to give away some custom chatterbaits.
We're catching some
It's pretty
flack.
cool.
Dizzle's catching some flack about JP Harrell says 100% drop shot over the net.
Really?
I like a drop shot more than a net rig, though. I mean, if I'm going to throw finesse, I'm going to go to drop shot. You know?
So let me ask: Are you fishing that again from a boat, or are you fishing it from a shore,
Both.
or how are you?
There it is.
The biggest thing for me is not being able to necessarily get a drop shot in. And again, because I probably haven't given it enough time, I'm not very efficient with it, but I just haven't had that much luck. It's like every other cast is a break off for me with the drop shot, if I even get that far. So that's my biggest thing.
So real quick here, Dizzle, you have like another 5 or 6 minutes.
Sure.
You good to go?
I'm good. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So Tyler here is just wondering about people making their own bladed jigs with the Queen Tackle Switchblade, which I haven't really played around with too much.
Yeah, I haven't put it in the water yet. Jason sent me one with the jigs that he made, but I haven't put it on yet. Only thing I've heard is that you've had to pop it to start it. I guess I can't be really too mad at that because I think, what are you going to pack, a 2 or 3 for a few
I think
bucks?
you get 2. Yeah.
So you get 2 for a few bucks as opposed to paying 17, 20, 25, 30 bucks for a jackhammer, depending on who and where you get it from. Somebody sent a tag in our group chat for what, 25 bucks per jackhammer? I was like, I wouldn't be fishing it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I'm going in after it if it gets hung up too.
Oh yeah.
It's 25 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
Then you're not fishing any of the stuff that I'm fishing, that's for sure.
Right.
You're going in.
Well, you got gators. I'm not going in for nothing.
Yeah. But Illuminathan and Matt are talking about the bug rock, which is where you keep that hush right now. That's just gonna pass on that lure.
Gator. I don't know what that is. What's the gator? Is that a 13?
That's the 13. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's just a little bit something different, and definitely. I don't even know where I got the first pack at. And okay, so I do have to say that the worst thing about them is they come in almost like a double clamshell.
Oh.
So it's like, I think one of the packs I got was like I think it was an 8-pack. So it had like a top and it had 4 in there. And then that was in its own clamshell. And then a second pack with another 8, and they were like kind of sandwiched together.
Oh,
so it's like, why did you give me 2 clamshells in this one pack when you could have just thrown all the clamshells away and given me the soft plastics in a plastic bag?
I think I already know how you feel about that, but like, I think, is that like really a thing that your baits get messed up if they're not?
As long as they're cured,
like
they're good.
I feel like other than flukes, like, so the only bait that I want, and even the 6 cents flush, they come in like, it's an obnoxious size clamshell. It's like literally like it's obnoxious, but it's tail straight. So I get that, but even those, I take them all out and put them in something.
Honestly,
I've never had a problem with any of them.
I've had more issues with the paddle tails that come in just any of the paddle tail brands that you want to pick that come in just the clamshell itself. I'll take those out because I feel like if I'm out fishing and I need to grab one of those, I'm not going to pay attention to make sure that all the paddle tails are in the right slots where they need to be. And I close it up and I throw it back in my bag. And the next thing I know, every single one of them's messed up.
Every single one of them's messed up.
So I would rather take those out of that clamshell thing and throw them in a Ziploc bag at the bottom of my tackle box and just be good with it. I don't necessarily believe clamshells are necessary whatsoever.
Yeah. Like these ones right here, these are the Depth Sakamana shads. These are a large 8-inch jerkbait. They do have 5-inch ones and 7-inch ones. These are smaller, or these are the bigger ones, but they have these little wings on them. And these things keep straight really well. Like it
Inches.
all depends on the actual process on curing the plastic. Like if the plastic doesn't sit for 48 hours at least, it's not going to cure. And if they they put their baits in almost right after they're cooled down, like actual cooled down to the touch. So that means the baits get bent up and they cure bent. So there's no way to bend them back unless you heat them back up. So what a lot of companies do now is they cure the baits and then they put them in their package that does not have clamshells in it. So that way they don't actually mess up. So
I
can
am
take these and
pro
they can be bent.
anything. Pro anything that doesn't come with a clamshell.
I usually take all my rage bugs out of them, and I have a lot of rage bugs. That's my favorite
Yeah.
soft bait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. I just know there's times of the year where I actually sit down, I take all my plastics and I'm like, okay, I know I have 3 packs of this kind of color of this specific lure by this maker, and I'm like combining everything as much as possible. And I will like fill up a large size, like a 13 plus gallon garbage sack just full of clamshells. And I'm like, this is such a waste. You didn't need to give me this. I'm like, I have no idea what to do with this stuff other than throw it away, because it's like you got to specially recycle it and stuff like that. It's like, oh my God, this is such a waste. Such a waste. Sorry, I hate clamshells. That's all.
The Randy rant.
Yes.
So Nathan says that he met a dude that works with 316. So that is super cool. I want one of the workhorse glides. Been looking at those for a while, but yeah, this is definitely my drop shot bait.
That's funny.
Michael Bradley's always making fun of my baits.
My big baits.
I mean, try anything though. Like, right? Do you guys get into that a whole lot? Like just going outside of the norm and maybe not using something that big for a drop shot, but using something that most people wouldn't ever use for a drop shot, like kind of coming up with your own little way of doing, a type of lure.
I guess
not really.
Too much though.
Yeah,
I kind of stick to what I know, and I don't like venture out as far as like messing around with a rig with a different bait. As far as like a drop shot or a Texas rig goes, like I can throw everything on a Texas rig pretty much that I want to throw. I do experiment a lot with like a big drop shot hook and different types of baits. So like with the bull flat, that's one of my new favorite baits. And South Jersey Fisherman says, or on our last live stream, he was saying about rigging the bull flat in a different way with the drop shot hook that I thought was really, really cool. But we won't get into that right now. But I don't really mess around with too many different ways of rigging different baits. So I really should though.
What I like to do is, very similar. Like I'm not super big into like always having a match, like a jig with the trailer, things like that, colors. I like to just throw those totally off and totally different. I don't know. I just like to try to throw a bait a different way, or try to impart action onto a bait in a different way, manner, shape, form, however you want to say it. You never know what a fish wants, man. It's like, it's just like, just because you caught them here yesterday doesn't mean they're going to be here today. That's kind of my same thinking is, okay, maybe I'm going to do something crazy with this spinner bait the next time I throw it. I'm going to like yo-yo it or whatever you want to do, just something different and kind of outside the box. And I know Debo makes fun of me a lot for being different or whatever, but just kidding. No, he doesn't. But it's like just trying different things, like I would yo-yo a finesse jig as if it was like a swim jig and catch fish on it that way. But, just those kind of little things is always fun.
Let the fish talk.
Yeah.
Don't think for the fish.
Yep.
Exactly.
If the fish want it, use it. But I definitely like throwing, like sometimes you'll take like a little piece of like a chartreuse bait and just stick that on there and then put on your bait on there just to make it have like a little core of chartreuse on there, which is really cool. I think I learned that from Tactical Bassin. That was a while ago.
Yeah, I see that. I watch all their stuff too.
Yeah. You remember that full Senko on a jig, like a 10-inch Senko on the back of a jig rigged wacky in the summertime? I've seen some people do some crazy stuff with that, just ripping it or like putting it like moving it very, very slowly.
God, what was somebody saying? Somebody was trying to bring up during one of the last lives that I did with Depot. It was like you should drop shot a jig with a jig as your bottom weight and a jig
It's
as your
smart. I
drop
mean,
shot weight, and it's just like little things like that. Like who? Okay,
You
it may
could
sound
though.
ridiculous, but
yeah,
you
I
know, at the
guess
same
if you
time,
use like,
a super
so
light
would you make
jig.
the see here we go off
You could
the
use my floating
deep end.
jig. That way,
Yeah, see there
it
you go. You could
stands
use
up.
floating jig, or if you use 2 regular jigs, would you make the one on the bottom heavier, right? So you use
yep,
what, like a 3/8 ounce on the bottom, and then you
I
go
would
a
even go
quarter,
like a half ounce on the bottom,
half ounce
and
on the
then
bottom.
super light,
So
and
then
try
what
to
happens if you
find.
go with like an eighth of an ounce, but you use a floating plastic?
I was just
Mhm.
gonna say something, you know, super buoyant
Would
that's
it
plastic. That could actually
Yeah.
work.
would it sit? And then you got 2 jigs.
This
You
is
know what
ridiculous. I'm
Randy's
gonna have.
doing tomorrow.
I'm going to the bait store. I'm like, you guys got any 3/4 ounce jigs? And I need the
A
polar opposite.
1/16
Yeah,
jig.
1/16 with the most buoyant plastic you have.
Right?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And then you can get
Get
some
it
marabou
done.
on the jig and just make it kind of pulse in the water.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have seen that Basil and Big Malone.
Yeah.
I think it's Mikey Balls, right?
Yep. Yeah, he did that.
He does a
I
wacky
I
jig on
think
the
the
back.
8-inch Senko is as big as I've gone on wacky rigging it on a jig, but it works. It works.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
And the power shot, isn't that
It's a
is
heavier
that
drop
when you
shot for like going through
the
cover.
bait
So
casters kind of, right?
yeah,
Don't you like bait cast
I just
that?
use the punch rig though. Punch rig
Yeah.
is much better. It's more compact. You can get through the grass quicker. That's just what I prefer, and you can skip it. So
Yeah.
that's what I usually like. But
Couple more questions and
this,
then I hit it
sorry.
too.
Did the zero gravity jig float or just fall slowly? I don't know about that jig. I've never heard of it.
I don't
But
know
I
as
know
if I've heard of
guys,
that either.
if anyone's sticking around to an hour and 12 minutes, which is a long time, but if anyone's stick around this long, I am making a floating jig. I've never seen anyone do it before. It catches fish, and Randy here and Jermaine are going to be my testers. They'll be able to take the first ever ones
Heck
out
yeah.
and
Thank
mess
you.
around with them. But very, very cool.
I'm
Exciting.
really anxious to hear to like see just like the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
concept of it is like blew my mind, and I'm just like, how does
Yeah.
that even?
Some interesting
Yeah.
things with it.
It's like a no, but if it catches fish, once again, it's a yes.
It does. I've caught 2 fish
Exactly.
on it already.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So
That's awesome.
Insta tags. Yeah. So DBG Fishing. Mine is Brown Bait Co. and Jermaine's is Mainstream Fishing.
I'm mainstream fishing all the way around.
Yep.
Instagram.
I have my bait
YouTube.
company separate from my channel since I don't want to manage 2 Instagram accounts. Yeah. And then Randy, do you want us to tell them about your account and your YouTube
Yeah,
channel and have them
sure.
follow you?
My
Get
YouTube
you to
channel that doesn't
500.
have any videos on it yet. My my
Somehow have more
Instagram
followers
is
than me.
I think you have like 250 now.
God, what is it? Who is the? Never mind. I'm not even gonna bring it up. I just put my Instagram in the chat there, just because it's got the underscores before and after. God, I always get frustrated on my Instagram because I have all these pictures and things like that I want to put up and I want to post, but it's the wording that always gets to me. Like my little blurb underneath, and I just get too wordy. Just like
don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Or just do the picture.
Don't straight hashtags. Just don't do anything. No captions. Straight hashtags. Forget it.
Okay. I might start. Yeah.
Critical gravy. No.
Like, I'm gonna do like 17 Instagram posts here once we get done. I'm just gonna blow it all up.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I do have a YouTube also. I'm actually at almost 300 subs. Haven't posted anything.
That's awesome.
Rub it in, Randy.
Yeah. All the credit on that goes to Depot. And okay, so here's even just one more little rant. I went out and I had to get I had to get my second external hard drive for all the fishing content that I haven't even done anything with. I have
Jeez.
1 2 terabyte external already filled up with stuff.
Oh
I
man.
have 3 memory cards right now that I have to pull all the data off of, like 128 and a couple 64s, just with footage that.
Wow.
Oh man, yeah. DBG, I saw your notification on Instagram. I'll check that out when we're done.
Something
That's
just went
crazy.
weird. Oh, we're back.
When are you gonna get a video out there,
I think
Dizzle?
we're back now.
Man, I'm trying. I
Once it
like
gets
I
500.
said, I got this content.
What's this? So let me ask this: what's the biggest reason why not thus far?
The biggest reason why not, because I'm everybody says I'm my own biggest critic. I think that's what my biggest issue is like putting it out there and being like, oh man, that all sucks. What's the point of
So
doing that?
one thing I will say is somebody who did just start, and I got a lot of this from I watched this YouTube channel. It's called Think Media,
Okay.
and he's always his number one thing is just press record, just do it,
Yeah.
just post it, because no matter what it is in life, you're always bad in the beginning. I watch my
Oh,
first
yeah.
video now, and I'm like, geez, and I think I've only got, hold on,
I think it's 170 now.
I have 170 subscribers. Does it tell me how many videos I have? 1, 2, 3, 7.
Debo made me do it.
I got like 15, not even 15 videos. 8, 16. No, it's 12. I got 15 videos. 172
crazy.
subscribers. And
Randy wants the subscribers before
my
the
first
content.
my first video is like atrocious. It's so annoying, and I just hate it, and I just got to leave it there.
I get it. It's like I've even noticed that specifically on videos when I first started, when Debo was doing his thing when he first started, and I started being in those videos. It's like my other biggest thing is actually talking during the footage. Like I talk to myself constantly in my head, it's actually talking as I'm out fishing. So I'll have to do some kind of overlay talking as I'm going along, because Debo, I know, has the knack of just talking. I hear him all the time. I'm like, who the hell is he talking to over there? What is he doing?
That's my problem. I can talk to myself.
Yeah.
At one point I was joking with my boys, and I was like, oh, the only reason I'm a good YouTuber, I was like, boys, I figured it out. How to be a good YouTuber just means you just know how to talk to yourself when no one else is there, and just keep going. And they were like, oh, yep, Maine, you'll be damn good at that. I was like,
that's funny. That's the other thing that I've caught is I don't talk to myself. And, I always, every time I go out fishing by myself, I always have an earbud in, at least one earbud, and listening to music and things like that. And I catch myself singing all the time. So it's like, okay, I'm singing along with all this music. I'm going to have to cut all of that out because I can't sing whatsoever. And when Miley hits those really hard notes on, like any of her hits, I just sing along, and I'm joking. I'm not joking. I love Miley Cyrus. But anyway.
But you know what the weirdest thing about that is too? I bet you people are watching.
Yeah.
Because they like to see the personality.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the process with the video situation. I'm making baby steps here, trying to at least.
Give us like a once a month. I ain't asking for
a once a month.
Once a year.
Once a month.
How about I start with one, and then I can move into the.
There you go.
At
scheduled
how many,
frame, right?
Yeah, the schedule up.
I can't say nothing. Yeah. I'm struggling because now he also So my biggest thing is like I suck at just talking to the camera. Like I couldn't like how I can sit here and I can talk to you guys. I got faces on the screen and like, oh yeah, well this color is great. It looks like a perch. It's got a gold blade. I like the gold blade. If I'm here alone, I'm like, hey guys. So I think this is a chat.
Get some fishing down.
Yeah, I can't complete a sentence. I'm like,
But it's
fumbling
easy
over my
whenever you're
words.
talking to somebody actively and they're responding back to you, which is nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Hellabass, he's rich. He says that singing and fishing could be your niche. Maybe there's a market for that.
There you go, right?
Ah, yeah. That would.
And Matt's telling us that live
let's
streams
start with
giving
one
us
video.
signs of mental health issues. So
That's funny.
So I think we're almost at an hour 30. So I think we
Yeah.
might want to shut this down because I don't want to take too much of Dizzle's time or Randy's time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us for this. This is like
Yeah,
I think
man.
you're a little frozen there too, buddy. But it's okay.
oh
It's fun. It's enjoyable, just like, any other time to get and, to actually sit down and talk to somebody about fishing. Granted, you can get into a chat room or you can get into a forum, whatever. It's totally different because it's like, I got to sit here and type up all this stuff where I don't necessarily want to, but sitting down and just talking to people about stuff,
Yeah.
like whatever it may be, crazy lures, favorite lures, combos, things like that. It's always a good time, man.
yes,
Sir.
I really enjoy it. And if you
This
ever
is
need any
what's,
help,
this is what's going to get me through the winter. I'll tell you. Hello, Rich.
Oh, man. We need that. That'll be your first
That'd be
million
great.
views.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I don't
sing
want to
too.
get like copyright strikes constantly though, because I'm such a great singer, whatever. But
That's it. But
Yeah.
these live streams are definitely going to get me through the winter because
Yeah.
I was saying
Ice
before,
over.
I think I got Dizzle. You probably might be in the same boat. I think you got what? Maybe the rest of the month. It's going to get down to the nitty gritty because you fish in
yeah.
December. Barely. Right?
Well, I ice fish too though, so I got that.
Okay.
But there has been a good amount of time though between open water and safe hard water.
Yeah.
Which is, man, and I don't.
And that first in the beginning,
it's sketchy. I remember when I was younger going out on like, this sounds crazy, but like going out on 3-4 inches of just clear ice where it doesn't look like anything's there whatsoever.
and you just send it.
Yeah, just go, just do it, whatever.
Yeah, we're too big for that now. I'm a big boy. Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
I like 8 to 12 and above. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I can do this. But still, that first crack, that first pop, and your tent shakes a little bit. You're just like, oh man, okay.
Better turn off
I'm
that
supposed to go up. I'm going up. That should be your first video, Matt says. That'd
Yes.
be great.
Should be. So.
I'm
Dizzle.
actually going up to Syracuse
Oh.
to do some ice fishing this year. So you guys might get a nice fishing video out of me this year.
Oh,
first
there
time
we go.
doing ice fishing. So
hey, you might be able to fish with Rick if he's up there. Rick and Epic Eric.
Catch some pizzas, but
yeah, awesome. So thank you so much, Dizzle, for joining us.
Yeah,
this is like
awesome,
fun stream.
Try to grab you and Debo for another one. This is how it all started,
Heck yeah.
The whole thing was because you and Debo and grabbed us on there. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
So if you ever need any help with big baits, you or Debo, I'm telling you, just call me. I will help you with whatever I can.
Man, I just don't understand how to work them. Maybe someday I'll get it and understand a little bit better and get some warmer water with some fish that actually want to eat that stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you need me, I'm here. So thank you guys so much. This has been an awesome stream. You guys go subscribe to my channel and Jermaine's.
Yes.
And follow Dizzle and all his socials linked in the description below. So
awesome.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Peace.
Later, guys.